Hello, welcome you all to the next video lecture of this fourth unit, that is EM wave characteristics. Now in this class we are going to see one important concept called power and Poynting vector or Poynting theorem. Okay, so actually this topic is very useful in order to calculate the power of an electromagnetic wave. Suppose if a wave is traveling in any medium, we can calculate the power in those medium. Okay, suppose so in order to calculate this one, we are going to take the help of Maxwell's equations. Next, let us see what is actually the Poynting theorem states. Poynting theorem states that the net outward power flow from a given volume is equal to the time rate of decrease of charge stored in a energy stored minus the ohmic losses. So that is what here we are going to take. So here this statement we are going to derive mathematically. Okay, in order to derive this mathematical this statement of Poynting theorem, we will take the help of Maxwell's equations. So these Maxwell's equations are helpful to us in order to derive the power or the Poynting vector. Okay, so Maxwell's equations, let us see what are the Maxwell's equations which are going to help us. Maxwell's equations, we know that del cross E. So here if we have the, in order to calculate the power, we need to have the electric field and magnetic field equations. What are those equations? Are curl equation, that is del cross E is equal to minus dou B by dou T, that is equal, I will take in this form, minus dou H by dou T. Okay, let us take this as equation number 1. Now I will take another equation, that is del cross H, curl equation, del cross H is equal to J plus dou D by dou T here. Okay, now I will change this equation to sigma into E plus epsilon into dou E by dou T. Okay, now I will take this as equation number 2. Now we know that I have two equation number 1 and 2. Now for this equation, applying E dot operation, E dot, I am taking E, applying taking del E dot operation on this both sides for this equation number 2. Applying E dot operation on both sides of equation 2. So I will take this equation 2. What happens? E dot del cross H, that is equal to sigma E dot E, that is plus epsilon E dot dou E by dou T. Now I will take the magnitudes of this one. I can write here as E. If these are the vectors, I am applying a vector here. So this vector, if we take the magnitudes here, I will get here as or you can say components, sigma E square I will take plus epsilon E dot dou E by dou T. Now left hand side, let us take this as equation number 3. I will call this as equation number 3. Now to this equation I am going to use vector identity here. Applying vector identity, that is del dot A cross B is equal to B dot del cross A minus A dot del cross B. Now here I want to substitute in place of B, in place of A I will substitute here H. A is equal to H and B is equal to E here. Let us see what happens. I will erase these equations. So if I substitute that, what happens here? Del dot that is H cross E, that is equal to B means here E dot del cross, instead of A I have to write H minus A means H dot del cross E Now our equation 3 is in this form, E dot del cross H. So I have to take this to the right hand side, that is I will get here E dot del cross H is equal to del dot H cross E plus H dot del cross E. So these two equations are same, that is these two equations LHS are same, this is also same, okay, this is going to be same here. Now I will take this right hand side like this, left hand side like this, sigma E square plus epsilon into E dot E dou E by dou T is equal to del dot H cross E plus H dot del cross E. Now I want to solve this equation here. So this equation is in this form, that is we know that dou by dou T of A dot C. Now I can write this in this form like this, A dot A into dou of C by dou T A dot plus C dot dou A by dou T. So this is in this form. So but here A and C are same here, so I can write here as dou by dou T of E dot E, that is equal to E dot dou E by dou T plus E dot dou E by dou T. Now it will turn around to 2 into E dot dou E by dou T. So I will take here like this, 1 by 2 times of dou by dou T of E dot E, that is equal to E dot dou E by dou T. Now I want to remove this in this, I want to use this in this equation. Let us simplify that equation. Okay. So what I get here, sigma E square. So I will get here as 1 by 2 dou by dou T of E dot E. Now I will take the components here instead of taking vectors. E square, that is equal to, in the left hand side what I got, that is H dot del cross E H dot del dot my plus del dot H cross E. Okay, we have got this equation. Now I will take the equation number 2, simplify in order I will take the equation number 1 here in order to simplify this equation. Okay, so now let us take this as equation number 4. Okay, so now I will take this as equation number 4. Now in order to simplify this equation, now I will take that is now H dot operation, applying H dot operation on equation 2 on both sides. So what is equation number 1 we have got, that is del cross E, that is del cross E is equal to minus mu into dou H by dou T. Now I can take this one as H dot del cross E is equal to minus mu into H dot dou H by dou T. Now as we have done the same procedure in order to calculate this one, we are going to get the same here. If I apply the same, what I get here, del H dot del cross E is equal to minus, that is mu by 2 dou H square by dou T. I can write simply, okay, by taking that. Now I am substituting this in this. Let us take this as equation number 5. I will take. Now put equation number 5 in 4. Put equation number 5 into equation number 4. After substituting, what happened? Let us see. So that is, we have got sigma E square plus 1 by 2 dou by dou T of E square, that is equal to so I am substituting this equation minus mu by 2 dou h square by dou t square plus del dot h cross E I have. Okay. Now I am rearranging this equation. Let us rearrange this equation. I have to get this left hand side, and I will send this other terms to the right hand side. Let us see what happens. So now I will send this to the right hand side. That is del dot h cross E, that is equal to, if I send this to the right hand side, that is sigma E square plus 1 by 2 dou by dou t of E square plus 1, that is epsilon I will get here. I have forgot to write epsilon here. Epsilon that is mu by 2 dou, I will get square here, dou h square by dou t. I will get like this. Now, so we have got this equation in this form. Now if I interchange this h to that is A, we know that A cross B is equal to minus B cross A. So if I take like this here, del dot I will take E cross H I will take. So I will get here minus, I will send this minus to the right hand side. So I can write this equation as like this, minus epsilon by 2 dou by dou t of E square plus minus I will get here, okay, mu by 2 dou h square by dou t square minus sigma E square. Okay, so that is what I get here. Now I will take some common points here. So why? Because I have the same points here, that is minus I will take here minus dou by dou t here, minus dou by dou t, that is 1 by 2 epsilon E square plus 1 by 2 mu into dou, that is h square minus sigma E square. Okay, that is what I get here. So I am taking dou by dou t common here. Now applying volume, that is, let us write here del dot E cross H. Now I want to apply volume integral on both sides for this equation. Applying volume integral on both sides. So what I get here, applying volume integral on both sides, what I get here, that is volume integral of del dot E cross H minus volume integral of I will take this outside, dou by dou t outside, volume integral of, that is 1 by 2 epsilon E square plus 1 by 2 mu H square. I will take this into the bracket, square bracket, into dV minus volume integral sigma E square dV. So I have applied volume integral on both sides of this equation. Now let us take this as equation number 6. I will take this as equation number 6. Now for this equation I am going to apply Stokes theorem, divergence theorem. Applying divergence theorem to the equation 6. Applying, that is only to the left hand side of this equation. Applying divergence theorem to equation 6 to the left hand side, that is LHS term. So that is only I will apply to this term. That is, we know that what is a divergence theorem states. Divergence theorem states that open surface in that is closed surface integral A dot ds is equal to open volume integral del cross del dot A dV. So that is what here we are going to have. So now so I am going to apply this to this one. So what I get here, so this is the volume integral. In place of A I have this, this is, let us consider this as entire thing as A. Now I am going to have this volume integral. I have to write the surface integral. I can write here as closed surface integral del dot, that is that is E cross H dot ds, that is equal to So I have applied. So volume integral minus dou by dou t of volume integral 1 by 2 epsilon e square plus mu 1 by 2 mu h square into dv minus volume integral of sigma e square dv. So that is what the equation we have got. So now we have to understand. We have got one important conclusion. That is for this. Let us take this as equation number 7. I am considering this as equation number 7. Now if you see this equation, you are having the cross product of E and H on the left hand side, and you are having all of you we have got these equations in the first unit and second unit. This is the that is energy for the capacitors, and this is the magnetic energy, and this is the ohmic energy here. So now if I take these are the this is the total power here. So now I am going to consider this as total power leaving the volume. Okay, this is considered to be as total power leaving the volume, and this is the entire thing is considered to be as the total energy, that is rate of change of decrease of energy. So dou by dou t is considered as rate of change of, that is decrease of energy. So here energy are both energies, that is electric energy and magnetic energy. So rate of decrease of electric energy and magnetic energy. Okay, here we are going to have electric energy and magnetic energy, and here minus. So here minus what we are having, ohmic losses. These are ohmic losses. So that is what, as I have stated in the starting video lecture of this class, we have stated that Poynting theorem states that the net output power flow, that is the net output power flow leaving the or flowing from a given volume is equal to the time rate of decrease of energy. That is energy is electric and magnetic energy minus the ohmic losses. That is what the Poynting theorem states here. Okay, that is what here we are going to have. So here this equation 7 is referred as the Poynting theorem. Okay, Poynting theorem. So this is very important equation, Poynting theorem. So we have represented this equation in terms of the electric and magnetic energy and the ohmic losses here, or ohmic power dissipated, we can say ohmic power or ohmic power dissipated, we can say. Dissipated means liberating, going out. Okay, so that is power we are going to lose. Okay, now you can see the left hand side of this equation, we are going to have E cross H. We are going to represent that E cross H with a new letter called Poynting vector, that is P. So in the left hand side of this equation 7, I am going to take E cross H here now. Now let E cross H is equal to some P. Okay, some P, that is referred as Poynting vector. Okay, this is referred as Poynting vector now. Okay, Poynting vector E cross H. So this is measured in watts per meter square. Okay, so it is measured in watts per meter square. Okay, so very important. So what actually it is, Poynting vector P. So italicized P here, that is let us take this as equation number 8 here. I will take this as equation number 8 here. Now let us show the Poynting theorem in a form of a diagram here. So actually we have said that the net output power flow from a given volume is equal to the time rate of decrease of energy stored in a volume minus the ohmic losses. We are going to show in the form of a diagram here. Let me write here, that is electric. These are the electric charges. That is capacitor, energy stored in a capacitor, and this is the magnetic energy stored B, and this is the direction of the current I here, and this is the parallel plate capacitor, that is the flux lines are flowing like this, E lines we can say. So this is the stored electric energy, and this is the stored magnetic energy, and we are going to have ohmic losses here. So this is taken in a form of a diagram here like this circle. So we are going to have like this. We are going to say that power in, that is power which is entering here, and here it will represent the power leaving, power out. So here we are going to show representing the that is Poynting theorem in a form of a single diagram. I am going to show the concept of the Poynting theorem in a single diagram. That is the net output power flow from a given volume is equal to the time rate of change of time rate of decrease of energy stored in a given volume minus the ohmic losses here. Okay, I will take this as G here, ohmic losses. So minus. So this is the overall diagram of this of Poynting theorem. Okay. Now let us move further here in order to explain the Poynting vector here. So here the Poynting vector we have taken as equation number 8. Now we will consider the electric field and magnetic field in what we have considered in the previous lecture classes. That is, we have said that electric field and magnetic field will be flowing in a positive z direction. We have calculated that field as that is E and H. So if E is propagating in y direction and H is propagating, if you are having E field in the y direction and if you are having H field in the y direction, so the wave is propagating in a positive z direction. For that we have considered that is AK is equal to AE cross AH. Hope you remember. So we have taken this the direction. Now in order to define the Poynting vector, now we know that E is equal to E of z comma t. That is electric field is represented in terms of this one, or if we have seen this one, e power minus alpha z cos omega t minus beta z into ay. Okay, this was the equation we have seen. And similarly h of z comma t also we have seen, h of z comma t. Why I am taking? Because we have taken the Poynting vector P here. We need to have the we need to take electric field and magnetic field. That is the wave equations what we have seen, and we are going to see what is going to happen to this power. How that is how we are going to derive this power P. Let us see this procedure. H of z comma t is equal to E naught by eta, or else we know that P of z comma t, that is E naught by mod eta e power minus alpha z cos of omega t minus beta z minus theta of eta into ax. So these were the equations which we have seen. Okay, now I am going to use the equation number 8 here. Here this equation is in terms of only E and H. We can write this equation in terms of P of z comma t, that is E of z comma t cross H of z comma t. Like this we can take, that is applying z comma t on the both side. Okay, now if I take the cross product of these two equations, what happens here? P of z comma t, that is the Poynting vector which is measured in watts per meter square, that is E naught into e power minus alpha z cos of omega t minus beta z ay cross E naught by eta mod eta e power minus alpha z cos of omega t minus beta z theta of eta into this is ax, sorry, not this is not ay, this is ax and this is ay, this is ax and this is ay. Okay, sorry for that. So now if I take the cross product for these equations, if I take the magnitude product here, what I get here? E naught square by mod eta e power alpha z e power minus alpha z e power minus 2 alpha z. And if now we have to use the equation here, that is cos of omega t minus beta z into cos of omega t minus beta z minus theta of eta. So here we are going to take the cross product of ax cross ay is az. Okay, I will get the product as az here. Now I am going to use cos of a minus b here, that is cos a cos b. So for this we are considering cos a and cos b. So I am going to use the formula cos A cos B here. Let us see what happens. It is equivalent to cos A cos B is equal to 1 by 2 cos of A plus B minus plus cos of A minus B. Okay, cos of A plus B plus A minus B, it is A minus B plus cos of A plus B. Now here we are going to use that one. So what happens, let us see. That is P of Z comma T is equal to E naught square by eta mod eta e power minus alpha z 2 alpha z. So 1 by 2 I will get here, that is 1 by 2. So cos of A minus B, cos of A plus B and cos of A minus B. Okay, so if I take this one cos omega t minus beta z means, so I will get cancel these two. I am left with only with theta of eta, that is cos theta of eta plus cos of A plus B means I am going to have this all these factors, that is I can get here as like this, that is cos 2 omega beta 2 beta z theta minus theta of eta into Az. Okay, this is the equation which we are going to get after using this equation. Now now let us move further. We are going to have another parameter here, that is we can calculate the time average of the Poynting vector, that is P average. So we are going to calculate here P average of this one, P average of Z, that is by, so here we are going to get the average of the Poynting vector. Average of Poynting vector we are going to get by integrating these in the limit 0 to t. So here we are going to integrate in the limit 0 to t, that is t is equal to, t is what we know, 2 pi by omega we know. Okay, so that is what here we are going to have. So here we are going to calculate. Now the next parameter is P average of the Poynting vector, that is average power of the Poynting vector. How we are going to get this one? Just by integrating this Poynting vector in the limit 0 to t, that is I can write here like this, P average of Z integration of 0 to t. I have to take this entire term. That is equation number 9. We will take this one as 9 equation. We are going to take this into equation 9. So E naught square by mod eta e power minus 2 alpha z 1 by 2 cos theta of eta plus cos of 2 omega t minus 2 beta z minus theta of eta Az. Okay, so this is the equation what we have got. Now we are going to integrate this in these limits. So the constant terms we will take outside here, that is average power we are going to get. Actually you have to write the formula here. Before going this one I have to write the formula here, that is P average we are going to calculate by taking 1 by t terms of integral 0 to t P of z comma t dt. So this is the formula actually, z comma t dt. So P average how we are going to get, that is by integrating this entire term 1 by t to 0 to t P of d dt. Okay, now I have to take here 1 by t here, that is enough. Okay, now I will take the constant things with respect to t here. I have to write dt here. Now I have 1 by t E naught square by mod eta e power minus 2 alpha z entire thing are constant. Now this is now integrating this one, integration 0 to t cos theta of eta dt. Next cos 2 omega t minus 2 beta z minus theta of eta into dt, entire thing into Az here. Now if you can see this one, we don't have any term with respect to t here, so I will take here t. So if I take this one, what I get here, P average of t, that is average power, that is 1 by t E naught square by mod eta e power minus 2 alpha z. So here this we get here as cos theta of that is theta of eta. I will get here t here. T integration is again t I get here t plus. Now if I integrate this term, I will get in terms of sine. So if I take the sine here, sine 2 omega t minus 2 beta z minus theta of eta into by I will get here as omega term here with respect to this one is I will get here t, that is 2 omega, integration of that is 0 to t. Now if I integrate this in the limits 0 to t, that is 0 to 2 pi. So you know that if you are integrating, if you are taking the limits for either sine or cos, integrating in the, that is taking the limits from 0 to 2 pi, that is 0 means here 0 and 2 pi is 2 pi by omega. If I take here 2 in place of t, if I get 2 pi by omega, I will get pi here and 2 pi here, I mean 2 pi here in place of this one. So I will get and if I substitute 0 here, you get 0, okay. So I will get 0 minus of 0, that is 0, okay. Now this entire term is going to be 0, okay. Now I am left only with this part here. What I get, let us see. So I get here as that is 1 by t eta naught square mod eta e power minus 2 alpha z cos theta of eta into t into az, okay. These t will get cancelled. So I am left only with the p average as p average of, that is average power I get here as eta naught e naught square by eta mod eta e power minus 2 alpha z cos theta of eta into az. So this is the equation. So that is what you have taken. So now this equation is very important. So whatever the equation we have considered, that is p average of z, that is integration 0 to t p of z comma t dt. So consider this as equation number 10 and this as equation number 11, okay. So we have to follow the sequence. Now we have got up to equation number 11. So this is very important equation, and this equation so p average of z comma t what we have taken is going, we can show that this p average of z is also going, we also can be shown that 1 by 2 the real part of E cross H, the complex conjugate of H, okay. So here we can show that the, so here we are going to show that we can show that p average of z. So p average of z we have got this one, and also we can show that p average of this one is also going to be this part, okay, that is the complex conjugate. So in order to show that, let us take the calculations here. That is, in order we have to prove that p average of z is also equivalent to E cross of complex conjugate of H here, okay. In order to prove that one, I am going to take the fields. That is, let us take ES is equal to ER plus J EI. So here that is electric field is composed of the real part and imaginary part like this, and HS is having HR plus J HI. So here these are the real and imaginary parts of HS and ES. Now if I take the complex conjugate of this one, I can write here as complex conjugate of this one ER minus J EI, and also for this one HS complex conjugate I can write here as HR minus J HI. So that is what here we are going to have. Now we know that we have to take the E cross H here. Sorry, before that I will take here E is equal to, I will take here as E is equal to the real part of ES into e power j omega t. So we have got ES as this one, and e power j omega t we know cos omega t plus j sin omega t, okay. Now if I take that one, the real part of this one, let us see what the real part will get here. ES into cos omega t plus j sin omega t. Now what is ES here? I will take the real part here. What is the real part we are going to get? ER plus J EI into cos omega t plus J cos omega t plus J sin omega t. So now if I multiply this equation, what I get here? The real part I have to take. That is the real part of this one I get here as that is ER cos omega t plus that is this one J square is minus 1 minus J minus I, that is EI sin omega t, and rest of the things are here the imaginary part here. So I will get here as the real part of what you got, ER cos omega t minus EI sin omega t. Okay, that is what here we got. Similarly I can get the same value for H also. That is similarly I can write here for H. What is H here? H is equal to real part of this Hs e power j omega t. Similarly I can do the same calculation. Similarly I can write here HR cos omega t minus Hi sin omega t. I can simply write. Okay, that is the blind calculation I can do here. So now I have to take the Poynting vector. What the Poynting vector equation is we have, that is we know that P is equal to E cross H is the Poynting vector. Now we have got E and H. So now we have to take the cross product of these two equations. What are the cross product of these two equations? P is equal to this one ER cos omega t minus EI sin omega t, cross product of HR cos omega t minus Hi sin omega t. Now if I take the cross product here, what I get here? So I will take the big equation here. I will get the big equation here. Now what I get here? This equation I will get here as ER cross HR cos into cos square omega t. Similarly I have to multiply this one into this one, that is ER plus this into this, that is minus ER cross HI sin that is cos omega t sin omega t. Next this one into this one. So what I get here minus EI cross HR sin cos means sin omega t cos omega t. Similarly this one into this one I get here as plus here EI cross HI sin square omega t. So this is what the big equation I am going to get here. Now I am going to substitute this equation. So for this equation we can write I will take yes. So if we are going to take that is here we can take the 1 by 2 times, that is I will take common here minus, because I will take the sin omega t and cos omega t common here, that is ER cross HR cos square omega t. Next I will take here the common here, that is for this one and for this one what I get here minus common, that is cos omega t sin omega t, that is if I take this common into ER plus ER cross HI plus EI cross HR, that is plus EI cross HI sin square omega t. So that is what here we are going to get. Now I am going to take the that is, if I take in this in the form of sin 2 omega t by 2, okay. So sin 2 theta is equal to 2 sin A cos A, sin A cos A. I can write this in this form, that is ER cross HR cos square omega t minus, I can write here as 1 by 2 sin 2 omega t, that is sin 2 theta in the form, that is sin 2 omega t ER cross HI plus EI cross HR plus EI cross HI sin square omega t. So that is what here we are going to get. Now in order to get the average power, what we have to do, we have to take the P average is equal to, so in order to calculate that one, what I have to do, I have to take P average power of this one, that is integrating in the limit 0 to t P of z comma t dt. That is what I have to do. I have to take this entire equation here. So let us see what happens here. Integration of 0 to t. So I have to take this one, ER cross HR cos square omega t minus 1 by 2, 1 by t I have to write here, 1 by t. Next what I get here, sin 1 by 2 sin 2 omega t into ER cross HI plus EI cross HR. So this equation plus EI cross HI sin square omega t into dt. Okay. Now for this equation I am going to integrate this in the limit 0 to t. If I integrate this equation, I have to convert this cos square t and sin square t in terms of 2 cos square 1 plus cos 2 theta by 2 and 1 plus cos 2 theta minus 1 by 2. So if I take this one, so in the limits we are going to get it is 0. So that is what here we are going to get. Now let us see what happens here. So this equation, if I integrate this entire term in the limit 0 to t, so it will be equal to 0, and in this equation I can write here as 1 plus cos 2 theta by 2 and this one as cos 2 theta 1 minus by 2. So this in this equation entire thing is going to be 0. So I am left with only with the equation, only this constant terms here, 1 and 1 here. So that is what I get here, 1 by t. If I take the integration, I will get the constant terms here, that is ER cross HR plus into t, I will get here t plus EI cross HI into t I will get. So the rest of the things are here 0, that is rest of the things are going to be 0 here. Now if I take this integration, now this t here is going to be cancelled. I am left with only with ER cross HR plus EI cross HI. So now if I take the real part of, so here we are going to get 1 by 2, that is 1 by 2 I am forgetting here. So I have to write 1 by 2 also here. Why? Because 1 by 2 is here for this one and for this one. I have to take 1 by 2 outside here. 1 by 2 I will get here. So now if I take the real part of 1 by 2 of the real part of ER cross JEI plus HR cross JHI. So if I take the real part of this one, I will get the same thing. So that's why I can write this one as E and this one as H. Okay. So now I can write that is the cross product. So this is the cross product. the cross product of, if I take the cross product of this one and this one, I am going to get this equation, that is the real part of this equation. Now I can write here as 1 by 2 the real part of E cross H complex conjugate. Hope you are getting this one. So I am doing in the short, I mean I am omitting some steps here, so hope you can understand. Just I am taking the ER cross HR, that is the cross product of EA cross HI. So if I take the after cross producting this one, if I take the real part, this will be equivalent to this one. So I am writing this in the short form like this, okay. That is I can write here 1 by 2 times of real part of this one is equal to this one. So we have proved that P average of P average of Z is equal to 1 by 2 times of real part of E cross H complex conjugate. So that is what here we are going to write. And finally I am going to write the total average power here, that is total average power is given by this P average, capital P average. So don't get confused between this and this. So this is the total average power here. So I can write here as surface integral of average power, that is time average power of the Poynting vector dot ds. So this is the so it is measured in watts here. It is measured in watts, and generally it is a scalar quantity, okay. It is a scalar quantity, okay. So now finally I am going to conclude this lecture with this total average power. So the total average power here is P, capital P average. So don't get confused. So this is total P average here, and it is the integration of surface integration of P average what we have got dot ds. So that is what we are going to get. So here this is measured in watts, and finally it is we are treating this one as a scalar. So what in this lecture class what we have seen the Poynting vector and what are the Poynting vector states, and we have seen the average power, average Poynting vector, and finally we have got the conclusion of the total average power. Here we are going to get by using this formula. So in the next video class we will try to do some problems relating to this Poynting vector and Poynting theorem. So till then, take care, bye.